day everyone, this is V.Vanthana, Assistant Professor in Computer Applications from SFA College for Women, Sivagasi, and I am going to deliver a video lecture on the topic broadcast routing and multicast routing. So, in this video lecture, we are going to describe the purpose of routing, explain the possible routing methodologies, and then analyze the working mechanism of broadcast routing as well as multicast routing. Before that, we are going to see first what is routing. So, routing is a process, it is used to perform the delivery of packets from one network to another network by choosing the optimal path. So, here for choosing the optimal path, we are going to use the process called the routing. This process is made in the network layer. This is clearly mentioned in this figure. Here in the right side, there is a node called source, and in the left side, there is a node called destination. Here, our objective is to route a packet from the source node to the destination node. Here, there are many possibilities for moving the packet from the source to the destination. Here, the part of routing is to choose the optimal path on the basis of distance, cost, etc. to reach the packet to the particular destination. So, first we are going to see what is broadcast routing. Here in the broadcast routing, the packet will be delivered to all the devices in the network. That is, it ensures whether the information reaches all the nodes or devices in the network. It is clearly depicted in the figure. Here in the figure, there are two networks, network A and network B. Here, my target is to deliver a packet from particular node in network A to all the nodes in the network B. Here, it is depicted in the figure. From the network A, the packet is delivered to the 4 nodes in the network B. So, it is called as broadcast routing. That is, we are going to deliver the packet to all the nodes in the network. Here, to perform this mechanism, bridge is used and the protocol called ARP utilizes this broadcast routing. The purpose is to know the MAC address of the corresponding nodes in the networks. Here, with this MAC address, the ARP does the IP address to MAC address translation, and then our ARP does the reverse process. The mechanism used for broadcast routing is flooding. Here, the in flooding, the sender broadcasts the message to all the connected devices, and then that connected devices forward the packet to their nearby connected devices. Like this, the process continues until the message reaches all the intended recipients in the networks, or otherwise the predefined maximum number of hopes is reached. The main disadvantage here is the flooding leads to network congestion and inefficiency. It is clearly depicted in this figure. So, here the source node is A. So, the purpose of flooding is to deliver the packet to all the other nodes in the network, that is called as broadcast routing. So, first the A node delivers the packet to B, C and D. Then the B node and C node delivers the packet to E and D node to F. Then the packet in the E will be delivered to G and the packet in the F will be delivered to H. Likewise, the packet started from the A will be delivered to all the nodes in the network. This is called as broadcast routing, and this process is particularly called as flooding. So, regarding the advantages of broadcast routing, in broadcast routing we do not require any additional network configuration or setup, and then the process is simpler to implement and manage. And here, as the packet is delivered to all the nodes in the network, there is no need to maintain group membership. And mainly the broadcast routing is used in scenarios where the message needs to be sent to all the devices in the network. So, for that particular scenario, broadcast routing can be more efficient. So, then we are going to see about multicast routing. And regarding the disadvantages of the broadcast routing, it can lead to increased network traffic and congestion. And the second disadvantage is inefficient bandwidth usage. And the third one is in broadcast routing we lack privacy and security. And then next, as the size of the network grows, it can lead to less scalable and more challenging to manage. And last but not least, the main disadvantage is it requires high power consumption. So, then multicast routing. So, it is just opposite to broadcast routing. In multicast routing, the message will be transferred to the particular group of members. So, it is called as a one-to-many or many-to-many communication. Here in this process, it helps in minimizing the data frame of the network, because at least once the data can be received by multiple nodes. It is particularly useful for applications such as streaming video, online gaming, content distribution and various form of group communication. So, in multicast routing we will transfer the message to a group. It is opposite to the broadcast routing. So, this is clearly depicted in the figure. Here I am having the 6 nodes in the network and my source node is depicted in the red color and all other nodes are depicted in the green color. Here my target is to deliver the packet from the red node to the only 3 green nodes in the network. So, here if it is a broadcast routing means the node from the red node will the packet from the red node will be delivered to all the green nodes. If it is in the scenario means it is called as broadcast routing, but in multicast routing I am delivering the packet to only 3 green nodes in the network. So, that is noted as the targeted receiver. So, there are 3 targeted receiver in this network. So, this is called as multicast routing, that is we are delivering the packet to only a group of users. So, here multicast routing IP protocol will be used and for the group management IGMP protocol will be used. And in classful addressing, IP addressing, already we know that there are 5 types of addressing: class A, class B, class C, D and D, and in that classful addressing particularly class D is reserved for multicast routing. So, regarding the advantages of the multicast routing, it conserves network bandwidth by sending a single copy of the message to multiple recipients, because we will see the disadvantage of the broadcast routing, it wastes the bandwidth of the network, but in multicast routing it conserves the network bandwidth. And here multicast messages are delivered only to the interested recipients. So, it leads to the less traffic in the network. And then the third disadvantage is it is well suited for the large scale deployments and it efficiently handles the message distribution to potentially large number of receivers without creating any processing overhead. And regarding the disadvantages of the multicast routing, here some older or less sophisticated network equipment might not handle multicast traffic efficiently, and then the multicast routing protocols require careful planning and management, and then also assigning unique multicast addresses can be challenging one in the multicast routing. And lastly, the most greatest disadvantage of the multicast routing is that troubleshooting leads to more complexity in multicast routing. So, what is the difference between the two? The difference is categorized based on the some features. So, basically broadcast routing means the packet is transmitted to all the hosts connected to the network, whereas multicast routing means the packet is transmitted only to the intended recipients in the network. And regarding transmission, broadcast is one to all and multicast is one to many or many to many. And regarding management, broadcasting does not require any group management, whereas multicast requires group management to deliver the message to particular group of host or station. And regarding bandwidth is totally wasted in the broadcast routing, but bandwidth is efficiently utilized and conserved in the multicast routing. And regarding traffic, broadcast routing creates unnecessarily huge amount of traffic, whereas in multicast routing traffic is under control. So, as a conclusion, while broadcast and multicast are used to reach the mass audience, but there is a key difference between the two one. While communicating with a specific group of people, multicast routing is preferable, whereas while communicating to large audience, that is to all the nodes in the network, broadcast routing is preferable. So, based on the utilities and based on our purpose, both routing can be utilized as well as. Thank you.